Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be putting together some balance soap. This is going to be another bar in my series of intention soaps, and this one is close to my heart for more than a couple of reasons. First, just looking at the aesthetics of it, I absolutely adore black and white soaps. There's something about the high contrast, something that's just about as contrasted as it can get, and you can create some really stunning designs with it. My brain is so happy with black and white designs. So I knew that I needed to revisit another black and white soap, and this was a perfect opportunity to do it. Balance is, not only for me, but I think for many people, a very difficult concept. We're raised to believe that we need to struggle, we need to try really, really, really hard all the time. If we're not working all the time, then what are we worth? If we're not being productive, then are we wasting our time? Are we being lazy? And so I'm sure many of you will be shaking your heads or nodding rather while I say this, but I loaded way too much on my plate this semester as a full-time student and an owner of a small business, and I'm exhausted. And I kept getting signs all over the place telling me that I needed to learn how to balance. So I'm hoping that I can remind myself, even just the tiniest bit with this soap, that balance is key to happiness. Anyway, while I was rambling, I was making the colorant, mixing it up with oil, and I was using activated charcoal for the black, and titanium dioxide for the white. And now I'm just blending up my oils and my lye solution, and I'm gonna bring it to light trace. For the fragrance today, we're going to be using the Raven from Island Escape Fragrances, and it features top notes of chamomile and bergamot, which are kind of opposites. Chamomile is calming, bergamot, to me anyway, is a citrus that's kind of invigorating, and so there's a little bit of balance there just in the fragrance. The fragrance itself performs really well. When you mix it in, it does not accelerate. If you do get a tiny bit of ricing, it blends out super easily. Now I'm splitting my batter into 2 equal parts, with half of it going in the titanium dioxide and half of it going in the black. I've been dreaming about the design, and that's going to make up the bulk of this soap. And in fact, as silly as this sounds, kind of dreaming about filming it and how it's going to look. I don't know about you guys, but when I film my soap making routine, it's for me to put it up on the internet, right? And for everyone else to enjoy. But also I really like watching it. And so sometimes I'll sit there and watch my own videos over and over again, just for that little bit of a dopamine hit, So I knew that the black and white here was going to be poured simultaneously on both sides of the mold, and then alternating between the black and white, giving the finished product a curved, swoopy black and white stripe. And this is the part that I started to dream of. So we've got white starting on one side and then black on the other. And then using both hands, I'm pouring simultaneously on both edges of the mold, switching which pitchers I'm holding in each hand with every single pour. So you'll see that it's a stripe of black and white on the left and another stripe of black and white on the right, and they kiss in the center to leave it with, these smaller striations of black and white and kind of a half and half look in the center. For the top, I was definitely tempted to leave it as is, having just those black and white stripes, but I thought that this spiral swirl would be nice, kind of alluding to a yin-yang symbol. So I tried swirling in the center, and then I just continued it as I went outwards. Next time I do it, I think I'm going to do 3 or 4 individual spirals, so that the majority of the bars get these really cool spiral swirls on top. I also picked up some beautiful gemstones to go on top of this bar, so I'm using this clear ruler to help me make guidelines on my silicone with a permanent marker, which is dissolvable with alcohol, so just a couple spritzes and you can wipe it all off. To finish off this bar, I'm using Snowflake Obsidian. When I read about the description of this one, it was absolutely perfect for the bar. It's supposed to represent balance and show its user that not everything is all black or all white. Not everything is all good or all bad. And life isn't always going to be hard. You're also going to have some happy times. I got a couple for myself, in fact, so I would have them from my own collection, apart from having them for this soap, because I think it's so beautiful and it's definitely something that I need to remember in my life. I would love to hear in the comments below if you guys are into healing crystals, or if you think it's all too woo-woo. I completely understand the idea of it being just kind of crazy bananas talk. That, you know, how could a crystal do something for you like that? And you know what? Even if that's true, even if it's not true, regardless of what the truth is, when I have these stones around my house, I'm able to look at them and it reminds me to think about how things are balanced. Or if I put it in my pocket, when my hands go into my pocket and my fingers graze the stone, it reminds me at that moment, oh, remember, Robin, you need to keep balance in your life, or whatever the stone is supposed to represent. So regardless of whether or not it actually has those properties or powers, I think that they're beneficial for my life anyway, and who doesn't like pretty stones? Using my trusty slope slicing box and wire cutter, I'm going to slice this into 10 individual bars. And if you do this for yourself, what you'll notice is that on the edges, on the ends of the loaf, you'll have more layers of black and white, whereas towards the center, you have fewer layers of black and white. So just know that there's going to be that little bit of a difference between a bar from the outside of the mold versus a bar from the center of the mold. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this video was at least relaxing, if not helpful or motivational. And comment down below with what parts of your life need a little bit of balance. I know that I can think of a handful of things right offhand. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, be well.